Well, good morning everyone. It's Tina here from a beautiful sunny day in London. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are live, please do give me a wave or a thumbs up to say hello. Today I wanted to share something really hard. So just a heads up, I might get emotional. For those of you who know me, I am an emotional person. And I just wanted to share something with you. And oh, hi Kirsten, lovely to see you. Something that's really, really close to my heart, and a little bit of something that I've actually, my family have been going through these last 9 months. For those of you who don't already know me, we've really been struggling with our son Matthew's behavior. And to cut a long story short, the last 9 months have been, quite honestly, the toughest we've ever experienced. I've cried more oceans, more buckets of tears than you can imagine, and what we've been through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. But what has come to light, so as a result, let's just picture the scene. Have you ever been to the school gates, taking your child to school, and there is that child that comes out, who screams, who performs, who nobody likes, who's got the worst behavior on record, nobody wants to be their friend? Well, that was my child. My child that turned from the sweet, loving, beautiful little boy, turned into that child that everybody hated at school. This started in September, October last year and progressively got worse. Matthew's behavior changed from defiance to anger, and it got so bad the school had to exclude him a couple of times, to being called in every day. You know that feeling that you know when you walk in to go and collect your child, that every parent is staring at you. That's that mother. Or whispering as you go past. That's the child that we've been telling you about, that's been causing all the chaos at school. Well, because of obviously this experience that we were going through and everything. Hi Karen, lovely to see you. Hi Steve. Because of that, Mark and I decided to homeschool our kids. Sorry, my son, should I say. And through that, we obviously got a lot of flack from family and friends. Nobody realizes the things you do. And so I just wanted to share with you today in the hope that you'll be understand what it is and the reason for us doing that. You see, with everything that went on at school, unfortunately, the school did the best they could with the resources they had, but they couldn't meet Matthew's needs. We took Matthew out of school in February. And since then, I started noticing different sensory processing issues. And although we still also have the outbursts of his behavior, it's not been easy. We took him to CAMS, which was the Child and Mental Health Services, in January, and they initially ruled any autistic traits out. So we thought, right, we're just dealing with a child with behavioral issues. Now, up until this point, what we'd only ever done is we'd only ever dealt with the behavior. Punish the behavior. This is how society says you shouldn't behave. And so as a result, this is obviously what happened. And from that, we knew that we couldn't pursue this any further. For Matthew's mental health and well-being, I then opted to home educate him. Since having him at home, we still have these mega meltdowns. I've been doing a lot of research, and what I have found is I've discovered that my child has autism. Now, the type of autism that he has is something called PDA. PDA stands for Pathological Demand Avoidance. And what that means is because of his high level of anxiety, he has this insatiable need to be in control. And by doing that, he avoids all kinds of commands. Well, that ticked a lot of boxes for me. When somebody told me about this, it was like I'd won the lottery. Suddenly, I had a reason to why my child always showed this challenging behavior. And that was a real light bulb moment for me. The greatest thing that we've had to do is obviously accept this. Now, this is a hard thing to accept. Coming to the realization that your child has special needs. Perhaps maybe we're still grieving the fact that my child will face so many more challenges in his life than yours will. And that's a bitter pill to swallow, particularly at this day and age. the fact that we never ever picked up that Matthew had these issues. Now, the interesting thing is I've done loads of research on this, and the reason why we never picked up on his autistic traits, if you will, is because with PDA, one of the classic characteristics is that they role play really well and they can mask things. So up until this point, Matthew had managed to mask all his behavior. It was only when he hit year 5, when things suddenly became a real challenge for him, that he could no longer cope at school. So we'd always referred to Matthew as my 3:15 p.m. child. I'd pick him up after school and he would just be like this Coke bottle waiting to explode. He would get home and obviously he would take all his aggression and anger out on us. So moving forward to where we are now, we are obviously, though he doesn't have an official diagnosis, knowing what he does have is now helping us to see how we can best support him. Sorry, I'm just taking a breather. The other important thing to remember is if your child does have any behavioral issues, or if you find that they are on the autistic spectrum, the big thing is remember that your child is not broken. There is nothing wrong with them. They don't need fixing. The way I look at it, my good friend Gilles, hi Gilles, I hope you're there if you are watching, or perhaps watch it later. He's been instrumental. He too has 2 autistic boys, and he said something that really stuck out for me. He said, if you think about it, when we think of our children, they operate on a different system. If you think we run on Microsoft, and I look at Matthew as running on Apple. So we all function the same, it's just that people have different processing issues. And that really helped me to say, okay, my child's not broken, he doesn't need fixing, we just need to find things that are going to best serve him. So that's what we're here to do. I'm out there trying to find the best support for him. I think acknowledging it and knowing it is what it is, to make it nothing more or nothing less, is that you're dealing with a child who has special needs and therefore requires more of your attention. So at the moment, I've put all other businesses on hold. If I have any of my Stella and Dots clients out there, please hang in there. I'm still open for business, just not out there actively promoting it, as I'm sure you can appreciate that right now my family need me. The other thing that I also wanted to share with you is that I've done so much growing over the last year to 18 months, and I just want to give out a huge big shout out, particularly to my mentors, to Ed and Dave and Busker. Thank you for continually supporting me and for helping me grow. And one of the great strategies that I learned is 3 words: focus, meaning, and action. So what we choose to focus on in life will then decide our meaning, and we will then take the appropriate action. So we've got 2 things that we can do here. The first thing is, if I choose to focus on the negative, yes, I have an autistic child. I could have a pity party and just sit and wallow and think, woe is me, my life is over, this is hell on earth, and do nothing about it. Or I can choose to focus on the positive. In life, I do believe that through adversity we grow. And although this has been such a hard 9 months for me, I have grown exponentially, like you wouldn't believe. And somehow that just gives me the courage to carry on. So what I've chosen to do is to focus on this challenge, but turn it into an opportunity. Have a look at this and say, right, where can I help him? Now, when something happens, we know that for every action, there is a reaction. So when Matthew screams at us or swears at us, it's trying to figure out what actually has triggered something and what he's going through. Now, it's an absolute minefield out there. Anybody knowing who's worked with children with autism, there are so many variations and no one child is alike. So it's finding something that's going to fit you. So I've chosen to focus on this and see this as my life's purpose. Meaning, when these children swear at you and constantly give you verbal, sometimes physical abuse, it's to realize that this is not meant. They're not there to hurt you. They certainly don't do it on purpose. No person goes out there to hurt other people intentionally. And to remind ourselves that words are just words. they're not meant. I often have to remind myself and pinch myself of that on a daily basis. It's not always easy, but to just bear that in mind, that just to think these words that they're saying are just words. And then, of course, the action that we take is I continue to learn, continue to grow, and move forward. Yes, some days it feels like you're taking a step back, and often it's one step forward, two steps back. But the important thing is that we're there helping our children. And what I want to do here, and the whole purpose for me doing my live video today, is because I want to help others. And that's my purpose. I think the greatest thing through doing all of this is we all have a purpose in life. And I feel like I found it. Ed, I see you on there. I thank you all the time for me coming as far as I have. I just want to share this with all of you, for people that are out there, through any challenges and struggles that you go through. I encourage you to share it with others. Because the thing that I found it's really helped me is I've started my own blog. If you'd like to hear more about it, please do contact me. My website is www.fireyourdesires.com. On there you will read a little bit more about our story, and I just want to help other people. The easiest thing is, of course, is helping others. I think the thing that I find most challenging is because I have an emotional attachment to Matthew, obviously because he is my son, that I find the hardest thing. You know, Matthew is certainly my biggest teacher, Zalna. You are so right. He is a gift. And, you know, I do believe from the bottom of my heart that any child, particularly children with behavioral challenges or any kind of special needs, is here to show us to change the world. Society, we put everybody in boxes and we expect everybody just to fit in. And it's the same with the schooling system. You know, Matthew didn't fit in. They couldn't meet his needs. And so hence why I've obviously gone to homeschool him. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to anybody who's out there who is struggling. Please do get in touch. I'd love to chat with you. Again, all my amazing friends and family and people who are supporting me, a big shout out to all those people, to Jenny, who I'm often on the phone to. Jenny, thank you for your love and support. She is my autism coaching guru. Gilles, he started an amazing charity called Transforming Autism. Again, to my incredible mentors, to Ed, to Dave, and to Baska, thank you for continually getting me to push myself to be the best that I can be, and to remind me that through adversity we grow. So as hard as it has been, home life has been tough. The family are taking strain, and yet with people's support and just knowing that out there, if I can make a difference in one person's life, if somebody can watch this video, and please do feel free to share it and pass it on to friends and family alike. Anybody out there struggling with any kind of behavioral issues, just remember you're doing an amazing job. Someone once said to me, you know, parenting is, we know it's the hardest job in the world. It's the only job that we don't get a manual for. We don't get any kind of training. And wouldn't parenting be a whole lot easier if we didn't have children? So I just hope that this has been encouraging. Again, thank you to all my incredible mentors, to my champion family. I love you. Thank you for being there for us to just carry on. And of course, last but certainly not least, to Mark. I know you're struggling at the moment, but you know, together we can do this. You've been my rock, and I know, you know, it's tough, and yet these will be the best lessons. These are teaching us to grow, to be better people. So I just leave you all with this message. I'm here, and I hope that you can see that I have a desire to inspire and a passion to serve. So please do share this message. If anybody's out there struggling, I'd love to chat with you. Please do get in touch. Let's have a chat and let's make this change, the change that we can just bring to this world, especially the world we're living in right now. It needs a lot of love and care. So thank you to you all. My message is now out there. We have a special needs child who needs a lot of love and support. What I'd like from you is if you can just be a great friend to pass on this message, and I hope you've been inspired. I encourage anybody who's going through any kind of adversity to share it. I've been scared in sharing this, but yet, you know, through fear, you've got to feel the fear and do it anyway. Love you all. So thank you for listening. Speak to you soon. Take care. Bye for now.